What's up guys, my name is Jaden and today we're going to be talking about the 49-hour film festival project, not the 48-hour, the 49-hour, together with my team and how we submit on time for that 49-hour challenge. So let's get into it. So going into the 49-hour film challenge, I had my team ready to go. I knew that I wanted to work with John, Colin, Ross, one of my homies. I also got to work with Rex, local creative in Vegas. We got Nacho. He's also a great musician out here in Vegas. My friend Juice, who I just met not too long ago on another film set, had her help out, and she was doing sound with me. I had a lot of other people lined up to be part of the crew as well, but some things didn't work out, and some people weren't able to be a part of the team, which is understandable. You know, these things are kind of like not last minute, but it's a full 49 hours that you kind of need to commit to, like the weekend. You need to commit your weekend for this project. So, you know, things happen. So I would just say definitely be open to flexibility when you get into a 49-hour film festival or 48-hour film festival. Be open to flexibilities. This year, other teams actually had fully lost their cinematographers and things like that. So, you know, be ready for anything, or at least have your own gear and be ready. So crew-wise, it was about 5 people. Talent-wise, we had about 5 people as well. So in this video, I'm going to go over the team, the writers, the co-director, locations, the gear that we used, creativity that we had to do for some of the shots to make sure that we shot in time, and then post-production, editing, and the workflow for that. We actually had an original music composer as well, so a lot of levels and complexity to this small project, but we made it and submitted in time, which is a big deal because the last projects that I've worked on, we were 2 to 3 hours over. For those of you that don't know, a 48-hour film project is when you get your prompts, you pay to participate. It's about $150 to participate. You get 3 prompts. You get the genre, you get a prop, and a piece of dialogue that you have to use in your short film. The film normally has to be around 4 to 7 minutes in total runtime. Different competitions vary. So for the 49-hour film festival, that's a local, brand new. It's the second year that they've done it. Ran by 3 people, Jose, Nicole, and my homie Gabe. So shout out to them for throwing the 49-hour film festival. So as far as writing, the writing team consists of 4 people: myself, my co-director John Ross, Nacho, who is also an actor, and Rex from Vegas. Rex was also an actor and was our lead. So the genre that we got was music or road trip, which we opted for music because we did not want to be in a car and we did not want to drive to a bunch of different locations. And then the piece of dialogue was "The world is yours." The prop that we had to use, there's also a prop that you have to use. The prop that we used was, the prop had to be a traveling antique or traveling souvenir. So in this case, I used my PDX pin that I had gotten from traveling to PDX. So for section 1, as far as the writing went, it was started out with myself, Nacho, and John. We were actually inside the Palazzo at the Grand Lux Cafe. We spent our time writing inside the casino, just far off from the betting machines. And the focus this year going in with my team was we wanted to create a dramatic story. We did not want to do a comedy. We've done comedy in the past, and we really enjoyed doing comedy. We want to do it more, but we wanted to show people what else we can do, and we also wanted to try other things. We all had notebooks, and we all just started brainstorming, the 3 of us, and then later on that night, Rex was able to show up. So Rex was able to make it around 1 a.m. because he got off of his work doing the jam at the space. So the jam is like, it's a really great open mic. You have to sign up. It's not an open mic. I don't know what to call it, but you guys got to check it out. So throughout the night while we were writing, we were able to brainstorm some stuff, bounce things off of each other, and I was kind of able to kind of guide us in a way that that made sense, and using all of our brainstorming ideas, just putting it in a way that made sense, and finding a good short story that we could really actually film within a day. And that's really the most challenging part, is when you're brainstorming and you're collaborating with all these great people, you come up with these great ideas. And, you know, but it's also like you're in a competition and you want to win some awards, some prizes, or whatever it is, and you want to at least be able to submit your film and make it by the deadline, and keeping creativity at the forefront, of course, but you want to do something within your scope that you can actually do. The thing that tied it all together for us during the writing process was Rex being able to act out his actual dialogue and being able to help us piece that together. That's somewhere where we kind of fall short in our writing, at least making it sound believable, but also just writing for that person, you know. Rex helped us with that. Writing for himself is perfect. I really wanted Rex to just be his character and to just bring his own unique self to the character that we were writing along with him. And I was really, really, really proud and excited for the final project. He really killed it. So when writing and co-directing, it's really important to be on the same page. John and I are both on the same page. We complement each other well with our ideas and our ad-libs and our improvisation. Um, we complement each other well, and then we also are on the same page um, when we're talking about things. So creatively, it's easy to collaborate and work together and keep flowing versus not seeing eye to eye or trying to over explain something. We don't have any of that. We just keep cruising. So when it came down to it, we wrote a short story about a music composer that was too focused on his music, and you'll have to watch the rest to find out. But for real, we had to have a music studio location, and we also needed a hospital location as well, if possible. And we knew the perfect person to go to for that. So that night when we were writing, we hit up the gas station studios, and tried to book time. We were not able to film at the gas station studio hospital scene because we just were not able to. Things were not going to work out, so we had to quickly pivot on the day of shooting. We didn't find out till later in the day, but once we found out that we weren't going to be able to make it to our second location at all, we had to get creative, and I came up with some ways for us to not have to leave the location, but we were still able to shoot 3 different scenes for that medical scene in the same location as our studio scene. So the location that we used was the Loft Studio. It's not open to the public, but it is a private music studio that I have a partnership in. I would recommend lining up with affordable studios that you can rent out for a few hours, or having houses and different things like that available and ready ahead of time when you're doing these 48-hour film projects. So the gear that we use for this 49-hour film project, which we're filming on right now with the FX3, and my lens kit, I have a 35mm 1.4 G Master lens. I have a Sony 50mm 1.8. I have a 24-70, and I have a 70-300 as well. I have a Metal Bones adapter for that 70-300. It's a Tamron. And as for a lighting package, I have one GVM light, and then I have one stick bar light, and then one newer like 5-inch bar light. That was my lighting package that I used for this. It was very, very limited. You can do a lot with one light, especially and with that hair light, you can do a lot with that. It took down our setup times like very quickly. We still took time to set up and light the scenes, which you will see. It looks very nice. And I think we really did a good job with what we had to work with. It would have been nice to have a couple egg crate lights, and like a aperture 300D and a couple 150 Amerons, but we did not even have that. We just straight up used a 60-watt light from GVM, And so our powerful light was that GVM light, and I didn't even have any diffusion. So we had to bounce some lights off the ceilings and off the walls to give it this natural look, which we were going for anyways. It was a very natural looking movie, but very dramatic intent. As for audio, we used my lavs that I have currently right now. So 2 wireless lavs and a shotgun boom mic that we had on a pole, recording into a separate recorder, an H1N. So we had two sources of audio recording at any time that we were filming throughout. We ended up using mainly the in-camera audio because it sounded better, and the boom was for just in case, which in my last 48-hour film project, we had completely no audio for one of these performance scenes where it's like a whole 2-minute scene, and we were able to pull the audio from a behind-the-scenes camera that was rolling on a phone, and we were able to pull the audio from that and sync it in, and then we didn't have to do ADR for that one scene. It was crazy. So I would definitely recommend at least 2 sources of audio if you can. Moving quickly on a film set, things are bound to happen, and the last thing you want is a silent shot, and with talking it's the worst. So being that we shot everything in one location, our music studio scene, and then our hospital scene and our car scene, we had 3 separate locations in one. How we got away with that, for the driving scenes, if you haven't watched the movie already, please go watch the movie now, come back. In the driving scenes, I used my GVM stick light. I'll actually grab it for you guys right now. So this is the light that I used to rotate while the actors were in the car. This gave it that driving motion of like lights going by as they pass by them. I really enjoyed that look in the post-production. It looked really nice, and I actually sold the shot when we cut it together, and it looked nice on the camera as well. And I was happy with it, and it was something that I threw together very quickly, and was just like, okay, car scene, we're doing it right here. I can control my lighting, and I can do everything that I need to do. It's a very simple shot. We're not doing a bunch of different shots and coverage. I'm not even showing both of them in the car. So it's only one person's close-up, and then I shoot the other person's close-up separately. For the car scene, we had a light gag where I had my GVM 60-watt light basically in front of the actress, just off to my left shoulder behind the camera. And on action, she was driving. On action, cued the light, and the light spun up from 0 to about 23. I didn't want it to actually get super overblown, but I wanted to give it that light is getting close. And by the time that it got to the 23, it was like, it's perfect. The scene's cut by that time, and we're also not blinding our actresses' eyes. So it was very important to, keep everybody in mind. Where we put our talent was in front of this window. So we had like the city lights in the background, really nice, pretty bokeh cars driving by as well. There's no movement, but the movement in the lights was enough to sell it, and I was happy with it. You really just have to get creative and do things in a timely manner that also not only look really good, tell your story, but it gets you out of there fast enough. The other scene that we shot inside the studio was the hospital scenes. I really hope that you've watched the movie by now if you're watching this part. So the hospital scenes, we had a white backdrop, like a white photo backdrop, 10 foot, pulled down all the way to the ground, and folding chairs out, one at a 45-degree angle. They're kind of just into each other, So they're sitting towards each other, and pretty much hiding the chairs. You can tell one of them sitting on a chair, but the ones who's supposed to be, laying down in a hospital bed, he's just sitting down in a chair, kind of slumped a little bit, and you can't really tell that he's in a chair. So it's good enough. It wasn't ideal. It was white background, so it just looks clean, but I really would have liked to have like that actual set look, but we had to do with what we had to do with. So that's how we went creatively for some of the shots that we had to pull off throughout the shoot. So that leads us into post-production. Okay, so upon wrapping, we instantly started to transfer media onto my hard drive, and then I had to send the SD card with John back home with him so he could download it onto his drive at home. We collaboratively edited. I actually had John do most of the editing for the actual cutting of it. I did do 1 or 2 scenes. However, John actually edited most of this project. So it was great to just work collaboratively together. So I didn't have all the stresses of filming and editing back to back. Things like that slow me down because I'm just so exhausted by the time that I'm editing. By the time it's like 6 o'clock, I'm tired, and there's still all that detail stuff to work in. That was the past projects. This time, very different. This time, we started off very nicely, editing scenes as we went. John would send me the project files as he went. I was able to edit a couple scenes and then send him the project file back. Once we had a rough cut in, I would go and do all of the color grading and the sound, and then he would finish up the other cuts. We were able to get a song composed by Lyfe is Real. You should go check him out. He's a great composer. Made this amazing Hans Zimmerish song, and the second I heard it, I was like, this is crazy. Maybe I'll be playing it right now in the background for you guys, but he made the song in like 5 minutes supposedly, and really did a great job. And so we were able to use this original music in our film, which it's about music and it's about the song that she's trying to show him. So it was a very integral part of our movie to have something unique, but also very strong. So breaking down the post-production process, we were able to edit and have our rough drafts within 5 to 7 hours of editing, and then we fine-tuned it. We submit our film an hour before the deadline, like 2 hours before the deadline. From what I heard, we were the first team to submit our film to the festival. This had me so excited because I knew that we were actually eligible. We did not win any awards, however, super proud of the work that we did. And awards are besides the point. It's nice, but that's not the whole goal. The whole goal was for us to be staying creatively to what we wanted to do, and to tell a dramatic story that really took the viewers on a ride. And I really think that we achieved that. Watching having the audience's reactions throughout the screening was very special. Hearing people go like, wow, or at the end of the movie when people like, oh, when they realized like what was really going down, it was it made me feel really good, having everybody's reaction. So it was very fulfilling to go through that. So if you guys haven't already, go check out the 49-hour film that we did called Deadline. If you guys have any questions on anything else, please drop them down in the comments. Make sure to go check out the film as well, Deadline. It should be uploaded yesterday, I hope. Shout out to everybody that was a part of my crew. Shout out to everybody that was a part of my talent, and everybody that was a part of the team. It was a full house. It was sold out. So great job, guys. Really looking forward to the next one. All right, y'all. Stal out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out more content. A 48-hour breakdown is coming out soon, and a music video breakdown for a music video that's coming out soon is coming out as well. So if you guys are into visual effects and editing like that, make sure to check it out. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.